I'm so excited because it is that time of year again. It's time to count down the days till Christmas. And this year we're making this super cute frame with a little spot here that is chalk, and we can count down the days till Christmas. This is super cute and really, really easy to make. So let's get started. The supplies you're going to need for this craft is a pencil, a Sharpie or a marker to write the days till Christmas. I used a cutting board, but you can always use a pair of scissors, some tape, some different scrapbooking paper, and I just let the kids pick whatever they wanted. So this is what Gage picked, this is what I picked, and then Braylee picked hers over here. You're also going to need some sponge brushes or paint brushes, one for the chalk paint and one for your Mod Podge. And you're of course going to need some Mod Podge and some chalk paint, and I just got this at Michael's. And then of course you're going to need a picture frame. I got this one at Michael's, and I love how it has the cutout, and you can turn it any way. You can turn it the way that I have those. You could turn it this way, or you could turn it this way. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is trace our scrapbooking paper so it fits onto our picture frame. And I made a template, so just in case I messed up, I could cut this and it didn't matter. So I'm going to take my scrapbooking paper that we're actually going to use, and I'm going to flip it over and then trace this on the back. And then I'm just going to use my cutting board to cut that out. All right, and then flip that over. Make sure that fits onto your frame. If you have any little cuts like that, it's going to be okay because we're going to create a frame around the frame. Okay, now we're going to set that aside, and we're going to use this scrap piece of paper to make a little border around the picture frame. And then just determine how wide you want that, and I don't want it to go too wide because we have this little design down here. So I'm going to do this about 1/2 inch wide. Okay, once your scrap pieces of paper are cut, I'm just going to turn it around and measure where I want that to go. Okay, once you have everything measured, we're just going to cut that out. Okay, and now we'll get everything put onto the frame. Okay, so next we're going to grab our Mod Podge and our sponge brush. We're just going to apply a thin coat on our frame, and we're going to work in sections because the Mod Podge sometimes dries super fast, and then you don't get your paper where you want it. Okay, I'm gonna start with this section here. Let's get that all lined up. And make sure to push that all down so that you don't get any bubbles. And we're going to continue on to this section. All right, and once that is on there, we're going to put our pieces of paper around our frame. So just using Mod Podge, apply it to the back. Okay, and we're going to do that all the way around all 4 sides. Okay, once you have your scrapbooking paper on your frame and ready to go, we're going to add the days till Christmas down here. So you're going to want to decide where you want it and where you want your square. And after you get that written on there, it's always good to go over your frame with Mod Podge. But we're going to add this square of chalkboard paint, and you want to make sure to not put the Mod Podge over that, or it won't work. And you can see the different things we did. I kind of did these 2 similar, but with Braylee, she liked 2 different scrapbooking papers, so we just cut that in half and added the 2 different things. So there are so many fun things that you can do with this frame. And if you don't want to make an advent calendar, this is a super cute decoration. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is decide where we want to write our days of Christmas. So think of the area where you want the chalkboard, and I'm going to put it right there. So I'm going to write days till Christmas down here. And you could also use stickers or a stencil or whatever you would like to do, but I'm just going to write it. Okay, and then I'm going to go over that with a black Sharpie. Okay, and then you can dress that up however you want, or write it however you want. And then we're going to take our tape, and we're going to tape off the spot where we want our chalkboard. We want to make sure to get it close to the days till Christmas, right there. And I'm not going to put that on perfectly because I don't want to have to worry about measuring it. All right, once that's all taped off, we're going to grab our chalkboard paint. And this comes in different colors, but I just went with black. And we're just going to apply a coat of that. Okay, and then you're going to let that dry for an hour and apply a second coat. If you feel like it might need a third, go ahead and do that. Just be sure to let it dry for an hour in between each coat, and then let it dry overnight for about 12 hours before you actually use it, or you'll just wipe it right off. Okay, so I'm going to set this frame aside and let it dry. And we're going to take some chalk and we're going to condition the chalkboard right here. I didn't know you were supposed to do that, but it makes a big difference. So all you're going to do is take chalk and just rub it right over that. That will just make it so that the chalk will come off when you use it. And we're going to just wipe that off. And then it will be ready to go to count down. Okay, and I'm just going to write a 25. All right, and that is it. And of course you're going to want to put a Christmas picture or something up here, but I think it will be so fun for the kids, and I know that I will love counting down the days until Christmas. So that is it, you guys, for our advent calendar this year. Please let me know if you try it. I would love to see pictures. I always love seeing pictures from you guys. So please send them to us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Merry Christmas!